So guys, welcome to the second session, and in this session we will deal with HTML and CSS. So HTML will be, I will take the HTML session and CSS will be taken by Aditya. So let's start. So keep it in the mind that all the developers which got selected in this virtual lab have mentioned that all is that they know HTML language, right? So I am not going to bore you in this session, and I am going to tell you the main thing and the main points related to the virtual lab website only. Not I am going to. I don't want to. Means I don't go. I'm not going to take entire session. Means entire HTML in this session, and it is not possible though. So let's begin. So when we think about to develop a website, right, then we directly go to a notepad or any type of editor and start typing opening and closing HTML tag, and in that head and body and all. So it is totally a wrong decision and totally a wrong way to develop a website or develop a web page. So what we will do in the first step is we will take a paper and a pen or a drawing sheet or a pen, and with the help of that we will just design a layout of a web page. First of all, we will design the layout of a web page. Okay, so I will tell you, if you don't have any page or paper or pen, it's not possible, you don't have, but if you want to do it on any type of software, then I must suggest you to take the Dia software first of all. So I don't have a Dia. I have. Okay, I have it. So Dia is a software in which you can design anything, or in which you can design layouts, and in which you can use any type of mean square, circle, shapes, and signs and all. So we have the Dia software, and starting with the main layout, that is the whole entire screen, we will just place it here, the main entire screen. Keep it in the mind, it is a small, and it is a means it is only a overview of your website, right? So don't take it serious, but it is very useful to you. So next step, I will I will go according to this my website. So I just first drawed what you can say, drawed a simple layout, and with the help of that I designed this website. So next step we will take uh, this one, and like this you will first design a small website, layout of a website, right? So next, then you will understand that what actual how many dues we are going to take, and how many squares and how many type of these entire blocks we are going to take, and in that block how many content is going to be fit, right? So next step we are going to see, means keep it in mind that this website is going to be used by the students of colleges and schools, right? So from point of view of a student, it should be fit in only one single window, right? Means I want to say that you should not create any type of scroll bar here, right? It is a smaller one, but it should not be here. So I want to tell you that whole your content should fit in only a single window, like this, right? So what happens is student will not get confused where is start and where is reset button if he goes down, down, and down and down, right? So it is a small thing which we should keep in mind, that all the content should be in a single window. Then next point is we should start with our means what, content of the HTML, right? So what is HTML? It is a specially designed text for web browser in English language. So it has some advantages. It is not case sensitive. First of all, you should you will use HTML like this in lowercase, or you should or you can use HTML in uppercase, right? So there is no restriction of this uppercase and lowercase. And next thing is, it is a simple English language. We can create static websites. So only HTML and CSS will deal with the static websites. And if you want to make it dynamic, or if you want to take it to the next level, then you have to use the languages like JavaScript, Bootstrap. How to design this. And the next advantage is, it is a global language and you can use it any platform, like Chrome browser or Firefox and other browsers, Internet Explorer and all. So next, it is the browser is browser's mother tongue language. It is also known as the browser's mother tongue language, and it is simple and error-free language. Although, so the latest version of HTML is 5.1, which is launched in 2014. So I will suggest you to take that language, so it will be comfortable with you and all. So next, we will define the tags. What is actually a tag? A tag is, it is a popularly known as element, the text placed between left angular braces and right angular braces is called a tag. What is actually a tag? This I am writing this HTML, right? So this HTML is written in a closing and opening angular braces, right? So all the tags should be written in closing and opening angular braces. So we will start with this, and this is a tag basically. And next thing, there are two types of tags. Another one is the tag that have both opening and closing tag, called as one which contains both opening and closing tag is also is known as paired tag. For example, HTML, you can see here HTML is a closing and opening tag, and body tag is also closing and opening tag, and head tag is also closing and opening tag. There are many types of tags which are opening and closing. So next type is non-paired tag, which is only a single tag. For example, BR tag, HR tag, ING tag. These tags are single tags, or you can say non-paired tags. So let us start with our first step, how to design a website. So basically, you have to launch a text editor like this. So don't save it. Okay, HTML session. We will create a text pad here, and in that we will write something, means starting HTML tag with its closing HTML tag, right? So now you have to save it. Why? It when you save it, it's only going to save in the form of text pad, right? So you have to go in here, file, and make it save as, and in that you choose all files and save it in the extension of .html, right? So it is going to be saved in the HTML extension, and you can see here it appears that Google Chrome Google Chrome is going to open it. So I will suggest you to give the priority to Google Chrome as a first web browser runner, and the second priority you should give to Mozilla Firefox. So some problem is there with my Google Chrome, so I am going to run this with the help of Firefox. Yeah, so it is my empty web page because nothing is written in this HTML tags. So next step is entire required HTML source code should be written here in this second step, right? So I will type something here. After HTML, head tag comes here. After head, body tags comes. BODY, body. Okay, so the third step is save it with any extension, not any extension. You should save it with the help of .html extension. But already we have saved it with help of HTML extension. So we will not gonna save it again. So save only this file and run it in your browser. So Control R is used to reload the page, or you can use this circular arrow button or circular arrow icon. So and if you resetting the page with the help of Control R, but it is not going to show any type of difference in that page, so it requires a hard reload. For that hard reload you should go with Control Shift and R. It is a hard reload. So next step is, sorry, okay, yes, right click on the saved file and open with it with a web browser, and we have already opened it with the help of a web browser, right? So no need. So go to the web page and refresh it. I have told it that how to refresh it and all. So next we move ahead with the tags. So the first basic tag which we used in the simulator is the BR tag. You can see here the BR tags are mostly used in this section and in this section, right? So what is actually a BR tag? BR stands for break. It is used to break a line, shift to next line. It is a non-paired tag BR. No, sorry, BR tag is a non-paired BR tag. So it is only a single tag, or you can say it doesn't contain the closing tag. So I will put here something, hello KITNs, and I will first see what happens if we do not apply BR tag. Hello KITNs, hi, okay, Control S, and where, okay, reload it. So you can see here the hello KITNs and hi totally comes in a single line. Although we have used here enter key, or we have gone in the next line, but it doesn't show here. So for that reason we should use here a BR tag. Let's see the change, and it's come to the next line, right? So it's use of the BR tag. So next tag we are going to use is so let's see what are the attributes and parameters which are used in the tags. So HTML attributes, these are popularly known as properties, and these properties can satisfied. I can tell you the properties which can be satisfied. The attribute are always specified in a start tag. So okay, this is our code, and we are going to take here one attribute, style style is equals to, let's say we give here a color, color. Color I will give here red. Okay. So this is our attribute. So what is actually a attribute? Attribute here is a color, and the value of that attribute is equals to red. So color of the text of the this page is going to be changed into red. So like this, and there are lot many type of attributes of the body tag. You can I will give you the notes of mine after this session. I will send it on the group, so don't take tension. And if we use here background, GROUND, background color dash ULOR, and the value of background color, if we give black BLSCK, let's see it's going to change or not. Yes, it's changed totally. So what I am going to tell you that it is a attribute, and it is the value of that attribute. So there is a difference between the attribute and its value. Attribute is commonly used, and its value, it's variable, means its value can be changed from uh, color to color, or value to value. If it is font size, then it goes from 0 to ending type, sorry, infinity. So next tag we are going to see is a paragraph tag. So what is a paragraph tag? So for example, if you want to send an application, or if you want to display an application on a web page, so what you gonna take is what you gonna write is, first of all you gonna write their address of the sender and address of the sendees, and then subject, date, and sender's address, sorry, salutation, and then the whole body, right? So in that case the whole body comes in the paragraph tag, right? So it's not that much important for our simulator, so because we doesn't use here any type of paragraphs and all. So keep it in a mind, documentation team, you are going to deal with this type of tags, paragraph tags, in that GitHub. Yes, GitHub is also when you are going to deal with GitHub documentation, in that when you're going to write anything, then you basically used BR tag and paragraph tag, right? So keep it in the mind, and a bold tag also for the highlight of the of that answers of the questions. So later on Pooja madam will be discuss on it. So only brief, only short, in short, I discussed that. So next I am going to tell you the heading tags. So here you can see that the this font and this font differs, because this font is written in another sorry, different type of tag, heading tag, and this in the different type of heading tag. So actually this type of font is in H1 tag, and this type of font is in the H6 tag. So let's see how it is going to be deal with this, how we are going to deal with this. So let's uh, okay, put it in a H1 tag, and close it using H1 tag only, then BR tag, then use H6 tag. Okay, H6 tag, Control S, hard reload it, and you can see that here it is in the big font and it is in a small font. So the logic says that the H1 tag is the largest tag of all, and H6 tag, which is ending tag, and sorry, which is the end of the head tag, and it is the smallest of all. So in between that, the size goes on decreasing from H1 to H6. So next we are going to take is color. Okay, So basically I want to give one tip to you. If you want to take different types of font like this, or different types of styles of the font, so I will suggest you to go to Google Fonts. Okay, it's going to be load here. 1 minute. Okay, yes, it's open now. So Google Font gives you different types of fonts, and in that you can see it's vary from one font to another. So how to get this font and implement on our web page? So choose any of it. Let's say this one. It is loading. Yes, it is load. So see here, the font size is going to is increasing as we go down, and it is the most uh, bolder tag, you can say, and it is the thinner tag. Sorry, thinner, what we can say, font. And if you want to take this font in your web page, simply go here and click on this, select this style, and after selecting this, go on embedded and copy this link, and keep it in mind, copy this link and paste it on the in the head tag only. Okay, head tag is going to deal with this types of fonts, and where you gonna implement this type of tag. So for example, if I want this tag in this h1 tag, so take this tag, copy this tag, use here style and give the attribute here, and it will be directly implemented. So like this. Okay, so in NetBeans I have done this, so I will just a second. Okay, so where it is, this font I have copied from the Google font, and the font I have used, uh, I don't know where I have used, but I have used it in this HTML code, entire code, anywhere. So now finding that code is something difficult. So let it be. So next, I want to give one tip to you. If you want different types of color, then there is a website known as htmlcolorcodes.com. So in here, you can take any type of color, any type of uh, color in the form of hex code. Okay, let I will explain you what is hex code. And suppose you want this color to be selected, right? So take this hex code, copy from here, Control C, and go to your text editor, and simply in place of this value, paste the hex code, Control V. Okay, and save it and reload it. See, any type of color you can choose here, and you can vary the color using this scrolling bar and this dot. Okay, and hex color, respective hex color will be appear here. Sorry. Hello, what is it? Hello, Aditya, am I audible? Hello, Aditya. Hello, respond.
Yes, you are all audible.
Okay. No issues. Okay. Now, so you got the concept of this color. Then, अरे यार, go above. Okay. Yes, it's gone above. So these two tips I want to tell you, and the next one. So it's not possible to take all the tags. So I don't give you the entire overview of all the tags here. So let us move on the CSS. CSS will cover half part of the tags and all, and CSS will be covered by Aditya. and I will give you, after this session, I will give you my notes which contains all the tags with all the examples, and you please, I will suggest you to go and open your laptop and do the practical, because it is going to be very useful. And I will, after this session also, I will give you the free course on HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, JavaScript and all of Udemy with free of cost. I will put it on the group today itself or tomorrow. No, you can please, and one thing I want to tell you that join that course as soon as possible, because it's a free course and it is a course from what we can say, a higher institute or a reputed institute. So please refer that course, and it is on Udemy. It is a free of cost. It will, I will publish it on group at today or tomorrow. So I will give the code of that course, which will you can apply, and it will be in the free of cost. So I will hand over the session to Aditya Villar. Please, Aditya, go with the code of our session. Okay, one
Okay,
thing,
okay.
one
Yes.
thing. Yesterday I got some queries like uh, 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 we are getting, or we are facing some issues with the GitHub commands and all. So I will suggest you first to go through these commands, and if you don't want to use that commands, then simply what you will do is copy this entire code. If you are going to face any difficulty with the what we can say, pull or push commands, then go and copy this entire code from here, minimize this, and open your Git repository where you have your HTML file, right? Open it. Here you can see a edit button, edit this file. So click on it. Your code which is what you can say, here already, erase it, or backspace control A and backspace it, and paste your new code here. Okay, and go down and make a comment that it is new by me, and hit on commit button. So this is a simple way of pushing any code to the GitHub, right? You can do similar with the CSS file and similarly with the your JS file. So, and one thing I want to tell you that don't go deep in the Bootstrap. And the main thing Bootstrap wanna give you is the your website should be responsive, right? Why responsive website we are going to take? Because student is only not going to use your website on laptop or any other PC, right? He is gonna use it on mobile tablets and all. So your website should be is responsive. So when I will resize the window of my browser, so it is going to respond like it. Okay, so you should use that responsive website, or you should convert your website in a responsive way only using HTML, CSS and JavaScript. If you don't know how to use that without using Bootstrap, then I will tell you that in HTML there is one thing which is known as viewpoint, which is known as meta viewpoint. It is a tag, meta tag, which contains viewpoint, and content width is equal to device width, initial scale is equal to 0.1. 0.1 is a default which is used by all the devices, and according to your device it is going to change. And the thing is viewpoint uh, having a unit known as VW, right? So here you can see the font size is 1.8, right? So if I go, I will change it. So here you see the difference, and also you can see the difference here like this. If you it is 1.8. Why it is 1.8? It is the value which is the ratio of the width is to height. So width is to height is equal to 1.8. You can say like this, right? And you can also say this when you gonna change this ratio, you can see the change here on your website. Arey yaar. Okay, right. So next thing, that's all. Your website should be responsive first of all, and second, it should be in only one frame, or it should contain only that area which is going to cover your screen, right? So that's it. No scrolling should be there. uh, yeah, if there is a little bit of scrolling, then it is okay, because it is a student can understand that. Okay, let it be. So but there should not be any type of scrolling like this. We got only 1 point from the e-bootathon, that you should remove this. Okay, that I will do that. No, no issue. Okay, so I'm gonna stop here, and the next entire code of our simulator and the CSS part will be covered by Aditya. So Aditya, over to
Oh,
you.
yeah, yeah. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Shailesh. So, anybody has a doubt till now? If no, then we can proceed forward.
Yeah, you can post your doubt in this chat box, and at the end of the session, we will give you the solution. And if you don't want to put it on this chat box, you can simply ping us on after this session. So no issue. Okay, Aditya, start.
Yes, yes. Okay, so my screen is visible.
Yeah, Aditya, it's visible, totally visible. Go
Okay,
ahead.
thank you. So, hello everyone. So we are going to build a simulator for sum of digits of number. Okay, and we want the design something looking like this. Okay, so uh, today we are going to build only this, and tomorrow we will apply a JavaScript to it. So we can do some stuff like uh, things that will happen when we are on a particular line of a code. Okay, so let's do it. Okay, so is it visible, Shailesh? Shailesh?
Yes, Aditya, it is visible,
Okay.
visible.
So
Right,
what
go
I'm
ahead.
going to do, I'll just copy paste the code and I'll tell you line by line. Okay. So first thing we want to build a title, which is sum of digits. So the header, I'll put this. Okay. Now if I open my tab for this, okay. Okay, so right now you can see the text is printed, sum of digits. So we want to apply CSS to it, right? So we already linked our CSS index.css file to it. Till now, it has nothing in it. The first thing we want to do is we will, for all the elements in our HTML, we'll put box sizing is equal to border box. What it will do, it will if any container is another container and the inner container's width is 100%, then it will match the outer container's border. Okay, and we want to put the margin for all of the elements to 0. Okay, so that's it. And the next thing we want to style our sum dot digits. Okay, so for that we have a code for, let's see here, we'll take this code. Okay, so this is the code which will help us. Okay, so now if we go to our site, refresh it, you can see the style is applied to it. So let me tell you what I did. Okay. So basically, the colon and root it will use to declare variables in CSS, and you have to use double hyphen the name of the variable and the value that you want to give. It is useful when you want to change this variable value, and you can use it in your code. So you don't have to change value each time wherever you put 100 px. Okay. So next thing. For the simulation, which simulation ID, which is for this element, what I did is I set the width to 100% and height to 100 VH. 100 VH means the entire screen will be covered by that element. Okay. The next thing is class title. Okay. So for that, I have set the background color to black. I applied the height to 100 px and width to 100 px, and the h1 element. So we have the h1 element inside our title. So this will perform operation only on the h1 element inside the title. Okay, not anyone else. So we set the font size to 40 px, color to white, and align it to center. And we want to apply padding to it also. So what I did, I used the calc function which is used for calculation, and then I provide my height. This In this way you can access the height variable, and then I minus some pixels from it and divide it by 2. Okay, so top and bottom padding, let me show you. Okay, so if you go to inspect and just hover over this, you'll see the green area is padding and the rest is text. Okay, so let's move to second thing. Okay, so now what we want is we want the buttons. Okay, so let me just copy the code and we will put in here. Okay, so inside our action comment, we'll paste that. Let me check. Okay, we missed something. So inside our action, we will paste that code. So now, if you see our page, you can see two buttons, start and reset, over here on the side. We want them to be look in a proper way. Okay, so for that we will apply CSS. So in CSS we have actions class, and then for the buttons we specified the class as actions btn. Okay, and also for the paragraph text, which will be showing what happens if we enter number to when to our, it will be for later use, not for now. Okay, when we apply JavaScript. Okay, so now you can see when I hover over this start, it hovers, and when I hover, the same thing is happening. Okay, and the next thing we want to do. Okay, so we are done with the actions. Now we want to build a simulator. We will not actually build it. We will just display the text that we want to show and go through it. And tomorrow we will apply JavaScript. Okay.
Hello, Aditya.
Yes.
Hello, Aditya. We have got some DMs that it's being a bit quite fast. So can you please
Okay.
just run through the code again and explain them quite slowly? Because
Okay.
it's okay. It's okay if the meeting exceeds. At least they'll understand. Okay.
Okay. Okay, Sitish.
Okay. Good. Best luck. Bye.
Okay. So let me tell you what I did is, the first thing I created an element simulation which will be our entire page. Okay. And let me just indent that so you'll understand it better. Okay. So all these contents are inside our simulation element. Okay. Can show you a bit more in detail. Okay. So if I go to inspect, the area that is colored in blue is right now a simulation. Okay. If I go inside it, I'll find a title class and an action class. Okay. So what I did for title, I put a text like sum of digit. Okay. So for that, to apply styles to it, we use CSS files. Okay. In that, first we create a variable called height. You don't have to do this, but it will be useful for you. Okay. Then For simulation, as I already told you, we have a width of 100% and a height of 100 VH. VH specifies viewport. Okay, so your entire screen will be filled by the element. Okay, then we have a title class. Okay, inside it we colored the background as a black. We set the height to 100 px and width to 100%. Okay, inside title we have this h1 element. Okay, so for that, what we want to do, we want to set the font size to 40 pixels, color to white, which is obviously a text color, and text align. We want to align it to the center. And we also want to apply padding so it becomes vertically centered. So for that, I use a calculation function, which is calc. Inside it, I pass the height, which is 100 px. I subtract 40 px from it, which is equivalent to font size, and divided by 2. And right now, I'm passing two arguments here. The first one is this, where is the cal function exists, and the second one is 0 px. So what it tells, the first parameter tells about the top padding and bottom padding, and the next parameter, the 0 pixel, will tell the padding from left and from right. Okay. Then after completing this section, we move to this where we want to put our buttons. So whenever we click on the start, our execution will be started, and reset when we want to reset our program. Okay. So for designing this, I have a class action. Inside it, I have a button start, which shows the text start. And I have given a class to it, action button, to both of the buttons. Okay, for reset also and for start also. And I have two paragraphs here, which will be required for later use when we use JavaScript. Okay, it is basically to display the result. And inside our CSS, for action class, we do the same. We apply the same height. We display as a flex. Okay, there are lots of options that you can use instead of using flex. I use flex because I like it very much, and it allows me use another attribute, which is flex direction. So flex direction row, what it says is whenever I put anything on the web inside a particular container which has a property like flex direction to row, it will arrange all the elements in a row-wise manner, not column-wise. By default, HTML align element in a column-wise vector, one below another. So by saying that flex direction to row, it will allow us to arrange the elements in a horizontal way. The next thing is justify content. Space even. Right now I specified space evenly. So you can see they are since there are two paragraphs here. Let me show you actions. Okay. So right now you can see it is very small. You can see the p hash input and p hash input. The two elements are in between these two buttons. So we have spread it evenly. We can change it also to space around. Let me do it around. Okay. So there are little bit changes. You can also use between. Okay. So the two elements are moved to the corner of the screen. Let it be evenly. And I have colored the background with orange color. The next thing I want to design is action buttons. Okay, start and reset. So for that, what I did is I set the height to 50 pixels, width to 100 pixels, and font size means the text that we are going to see inside it, which is the start and reset, is of size 30 pixels. Then padding. For each button, we applied some padding, 3 pixels from all the sides. And then we want the outline to be null. Okay, so whenever I click this, you don't see any outline. Okay, the cursor is set to pointer. So whenever I'm over this, my cursor changes to a pointer. Okay, I think, is there any question in the chat box? Chalice? Hello?
Yes, Aditya, there is a one question.
Okay. What it is?
What is the difference between 100% and 100 VH in simulation?
Okay. 100% and 100 is okay. So what 100% will do, it basically same, but in 100% you get the full screen size. Sometimes it may happen that you are putting a container inside another container. Okay, so 100% maybe mean that the entire screen. Okay, so the main inside container will move out of the parent container. But what 100 VH will do, it will stick to the inside the parent container upon you give the 100 VH. So in simulation, we don't have any parent container to it. The parent to it is body. So it is taking 100 viewport size, okay, the entire screen. I guess I resolved the query or
Yes, yes, you resolved. And here is one another query. It would be
yes.
better if we get all the script code which we are using for session. See, Yuraj, it differs from website to website, or you can say simulator to
Yes.
simulator. If we design only simulator only for the CS and IT background, we don't need any type of images here. Or yeah, and other thing is, if we gonna make simulator for the biotech or first year, let's say first year BSH department, in that in chemistry section, we have the practical which is known as titration, right? So in that you have to use PNG images, and with the help of that images you have to give the animation, or you have to give the motion to that images. So the code differs from one simulator to second simulator. So uh, we will give you the different types of code after this session. Okay, Yuvraj?
Shall I continue? Hello, Shailesh. Okay. Hello,
Okay,
Shailesh.
Yuvraj is saying okay.
Okay, then we will continue. Okay. So everybody understood till now? Please reply yes in the chat box. If you don't, okay, I'm getting the responses. Okay. So now the next thing we want to do is our actual simulator. Okay, this one. So for that, it is a quite a big one. I need to copy the entire code. I'll explain you every line of it. Okay. Let me check whether I select the correct. Okay. Okay, let me go through each line. Before that, let me show you how it looks now. So right now you can see we have our code here and the execution on the right side. Okay, so let me show you what actually we are doing. Okay, so I defined a class simulator. For that, let me copy the CSS also. Okay, there's nothing but the width is 100% and height is set to auto. Auto will automatically accommodate the entire elements in it. Okay, so the site will change as we add element to it. So the next thing we added was a row. It is not. It is just like a bootstrap row. It is nothing much more than that. Okay. And then we created two blocks. Okay, the first block is here. Okay, and the second block is here. So for why two blocks? Because in the first block we have written the code section, and in the second block we have written the execution section. And inside it, we are giving the section header to code and which will be printed, and then we want since in the code section we want to write our entire code. So for each line of code, just concentrate on this first line. Okay, what we did is we have given the id to line 1, and inside it we pass we written some text, okay, and a comment. So in case we want to show something about something more descriptive about a particular line, then for that we use this element. We will add the content through JavaScript here, okay, inside the comment. For each line, we will display a particular set of instructions. Okay, so all lines are same. This is like line 1, line 2, line 3. So basically, this is our line 1, this is our line 2, line 3, and so on. Okay. So now let me copy the CSS for it also. Okay, so we completed till action hover. Okay, yeah, simulator. Okay, so for now, we need to move for. Okay, block we also covered. Block, what I'm doing is I'm setting the width to 45% and margin to 20 px from top and bottom, and from left right it will be auto. So it will make our container in the center. Okay, so let me just refresh. It will. Okay, so this is like this. Okay, I will explain the entire CSS to you. Okay, after block, we have a box class. Okay, inside our simulation. Let me find it. Okay, so this is our box class. Inside of it, we return the entire code. Okay, so for block box, we set the maximum height to 60 VH. Okay. So if your content, like if this code is moving away or moving down from the screen, what you can do, you can set a max height to it, and uh, you can apply a scroll bar. Just you have to do is scroll. You have to change a property name. I will show you later. So you have to apply a scroll bar so you can scroll the code. Okay. So max height, what it tells, if your container size is larger than this, it will apply a scroll bar to it. Okay. So width it 100%. Since it is inside our block width is 45%. So its width is also going to be same. Okay, so padding is 50 px from all the side, font size is 20 px, and line height. Line height means the number of lines, okay, the number of pixel that appear between both of these two lines. Okay, so in between each line there are 35 pixels. It is nothing like just a padding. Okay, then we have a content. Okay, let me find it. Content. Okay, we do it in other way. Insert simulation row. Each block, each block has this lines. Okay, so let me just explain you why I give this padding. Okay, so if I remove this padding and just filling changes, no, let it be. Okay, so each line is there. Just a sec, guys. Okay. Okay. Okay, so here is our content class. Inside that we have number. It is inside our second block, which is of execution. Okay, so it contain, and inside of that we have P. Okay, so what we did for that is we just applied a margin of 20 px and displayed in a grid format. Grid format will allow you to, so if you see neatly, you will see the lines, okay, the dotted lines are nothing but the grid format. So each element is arranged in that form and it is in a vertical form. The next thing is we want to apply some design to the paragraphs and shape. Okay, so let me show you. So this is the paragraph and this is the shape. Okay, it is nothing but the border that you are seeing around this box. It is a shape class. Okay, so for that, for both of these, we want to use the same thing. So we add a comma between both of them. Dot simulator dot content p and comma dot simulator dot content shape. Okay, the font size will be 10 px and margin left right will be auto. So it will center the element. The next thing for particularly for shape, we also want to add additional properties like border width. So the width, the black color that you are seeing around the shape is nothing but the width, and right now it is set to 9 pixels. And then margin top, same things. The border style is solid. You can use any of the styles, dashed or something else. And nothing more. The new attribute here is border radius. It will allow you the shape of rounded rectangle. So at the corners, you will see the rounded corners. So next, what we want to do is, I think this is it. If you have any doubts regarding this, and I'm sure you have some things, you can ask because the design is done. You can see the text box and submit button here. We will hide it once we enter into a JavaScript, and which will be of tomorrow. So, is there any doubts? Please show the code one more time. Okay, so do you want me to go through it once again, or show it? Okay, the entire code is, I don't think you will able to see. Okay. So this is our CSS file. And one more thing, you can use any IDE that you want. We prefer Visual Studio because it is easy to use. You can also add extension here also. You can just simply search for HTML and you'll get a lot of extension for that. Okay. So IntelliSense is also a good one. Just you have to click and I've already installed it. So you have to install it. Okay. So you'll get the intelligent notification for particular or code completion. IntelliJ. No, I think its name is IntelliSense for CSS class main names and HTML. I'll still go with this. Definitely. So are we good? You want to see HTML file? I don't know who asked the question because I can't see here right now. Do you want to see HTML file? Okay. I think we should follow a proper commenting format. This for our head sub title. And then this is our action buttons which has start, reset. And the next as we go forward, we have simulator, the actual simulator, and inside it we have a class for both section and for execution section also. Inside the code section, what we did is we just follow a similar pattern. We create an div element, place give some ID. It basically starts with line 1, line 2, and goes on similar way. And we give some text. So for a particular line of code, we have the text to it, and the comment we will use tomorrow by applying JavaScript. And also, and for the execution section, we have number. Okay, it is basically to display the changes that are happening in our code. Okay, so are we good? Is there any question? Elias, please let me know if there is any question.
No, right now there is no question right now.
So, are you do you understand this, or do you have to go something for you? Can tell you what you want. Let me just stop sharing and see the that section. Okay. Okay, we don't seem to have any queries now. Should we end this session, guys?
Aditya, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So thank you for all for joining this session. You can leave the meeting.